going to look at SimBaby and the software that is used to run him. I am in control room 137 where SimBaby software is located along with SimMom. SimBaby actually is located in room 139. He occupies it with SimMom. So we use one workstation to run both mannequins. So you cannot run them both at the same time, but you can switch between them. This scenario is dealing with SimBaby. So let's go ahead and open up the software and see how this works. So we want to open up the Laerdal software, which is this little green box here. You can either use on the desktop or you can use down here, which I like to choose on the taskbar. Go ahead and click on that. That starts up Lleap, and we're primarily interested in this Lleap application right here. I'm just going to start that up. Takes a minute for it to recognize the link box. Once you see it there, you can just highlight it, and that'll activate that and move toward connecting with the simulator. Great. As you've seen in some other videos, if you've watched them, with Lleap software, we always work out of automatic mode. You can work out of manual, as I've said before in the past, if you're just doing some orientation stuff, doing something manual, just want to show some vital signs. That's where manual mode is. But when we're running scenario, we've already built them. They've already programmed for you, so all you have to do is run a checklist. All of that is run out of automatic mode. Click on that. And you'll see I've got 3 pre-programmed scenarios already. These are the ones that we have done. I'm just going to choose one. Let's choose Jack Johnson for right now. And it has some information here that you can look at, the scenario outline, what's going on with them. I'm going to go ahead and load that up by clicking OK. Great, we have that particular software loaded up. A couple more things that we need to make sure that we do. Most of this stuff will already be done for you. When you come in to do scenario as a clinical instructor, this software will be up and running, the rooms will be ready, the mannequins will be ready, along with all of the resources that you need. So really when you sit down, you're just going to be running a checklist for the most part. There'll be very little of starting these applications up, but I did want to show it to you just in case you were interested. A couple more things I've got to do. I've got to make sure my buttons that I use to communicate into the room are available to me. So that's this little box down here, this little square box. That's what controls my microphone. Just clicked on that to open it up and move down here, and we are training with the simulator. And there's my buttons. And because SimBaby is a baby, we won't be using the simulator voice button there. We'll just be using the overhead speaker button should we need to talk to any of our students while they're in the room, giving them any sort of assessment information. That's the button we're going to use to communicate back and forth with them. And to use that, in case you don't know, is a left mouse click on top of the button, and then you want to hold that mouse button down so it's blinking. If it's blinking, the microphone is hot. As soon as you let go, it's going to not blink, and then it'll stop. So we've got that open, and then one other thing that I've got to do is I've got to start up my patient monitor, because there's a patient monitor inside SimBaby's room. So I'm going to go ahead and start that up, because there is some information that goes up there that students will need to know. So this is a respiratory scenario. He's having a serious respiratory attack. So once we're ready to start the scenario, you can see that my mannequin right now is in a state of pause. Every time I load a brand new scenario, it will load in a state of pause. So I need to wake the mannequin up first. Let's go ahead and hit play. That does not start the scenario. All that does is wake the mannequin up. So your students are ready. You hear the knock, and then start the scenario. Now at this stage, you're just going to follow your checklist. So you have tabs at the top here: standards of care, assessment, treatment, communication, 6 rights of medicine, and then end scenario. Those are your tabs that you're going to look at your checklists under. So under standards of care, we've got washed hands, introduced self, identification. We're just going through. And you can see over here on the right part of the screen that our patient is not doing well. He's got a 0 heart rate right now, or respiratory rate, and a heart rate of 40. So not doing well. Hopefully your students at this point have moved to the AMBU bag and are doing some corrective action. So you're following along in their actions by jumping between these tabs and seeing whether or not they've done what they're supposed to be doing. Hopefully they've started compressions and stopped. With this particular scenario, the items in red and blue, those are items that the mannequin will recognize automatically. So if they start compressions, you'll see a number. It's like this. I'm gonna click on it because sometimes the mannequin may not recognize it. So you can click on the button as well, and that changes what's happening to the mannequin. So they're doing compressions now, and they start ventilation, same thing. The mannequin will start to recognize that, and then now O2 sats will start to go up. But again, you're just kind of giving, you're just checking along with the decisions that they're making, whether or not they're doing any of these things or not. So let's say if they get a temperature. So right now, Jack's temperature is programmed for 97. I give you an instructor message telling you that it's 97. The students will also see that. We can look at their monitor. You can see this is what they see in their room. This is their patient monitor. They've got a image of a thermometer that's up on the screen. We need to remind them to also close these out when they're done because there could be vital information on there that they don't know about. Switch back. We have it there. So, and you'll get the instructor messages throughout. If you see these instructor messages throughout your scenarios, please click OK to get rid of them because others may pop up, and if you don't click OK, you won't see them. But again, you're just following along the checklist until you get to the very end. Other things that pop up on the lab, on the patient monitors for students or labs. So if I were to click on that and click OK, and then go back over to look at their patient monitor, you see what they're seeing now. And you always have a copy of this in paper form. That's in your scenario packet when you sit down at your control station, so you can follow along when they make a phone call to talk to you. But that's pretty much it. It's just a checklist-driven situation. Once you get to the end of the scenario, you'll end the scenario and start a new session. To get back to where you were, you'll go to automatic mode, and then you'll see Jack Johnson is already highlighted. And that's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch this brief video on how to run software for SimBaby.